So I've come out today and I'm going to talk about safely riding your bike in towns and cities, but I'm also coming out to scout out some spots for a video I'm doing later this week, which is about e-bike security, where you can lock it up. So I'm going to go and try and find or scout out some spots where I can lock the bike. Well, I reckon this is going to be more difficult than I think. Anyway, let's look into that. So I've come to where I normally shop, which is Morrisons in Wayfield, and we're going to have a look round here now. So you can see somebody there's parked theirs up and locked it to that railing, and if you have a look down here, you can see these are the cycling lock points, and that is it, unless you want to strap it to one of these posts. But it's a bit grim, isn't it? I mean, where can you safely lock your bike out? And ideally you want to be able to go out shopping on these things. So, well, that's annoying. Let's go somewhere else.
Just leave people alone.
So I'm coming into Wayfield train station, one of them, and let's look where you could lock your bike around here. Let's have a quick look. So any cycle, not just an e-bike, where would you lock your cycle around here? You could possibly lock it to one of those posts that somebody can lift your bike over. Maybe that railing down there where it's got security tags on, and that's it. Nothing fit for purpose for any cyclist, not just an e-cyclist. So Wayfield Museum has a few spots where you could lock an e-bike or a bicycle up, and they're not being used, but as we've seen, you can easily cut through those pipes. So it's not the most secure spot, but at least it's a spot. So this is the centre of Wayfield, and there's just absolutely nowhere really apart from these lampposts you can lock your bike to. And I'm wondering if you'd be responsible if somebody actually cut away part of a lamppost to get at your bike, because, you know, if I was a bike thief and that's what I did for a living, I'd just be looking for spots where people will be locking their bikes, and then, you know, how can I nick that bike? There's railings there, but again, the amount of crackheads that hang around up here, and there's a bit just down past there that I call Crackhead Corner, that you're forever seeing people just wandering around trying car doors and everything else. So where do you lock your bike? Again, there's posts here that you can just lift the bike over. So what's the point in that? I mean, you could lock it technically to one of these benches, but then somebody's going to moan that you've locked it to a bench and it's a bench. You know, you've got a high post there, but that's not there for any other purpose than to signal to the buses. So again, centre of Wayfield, there's this big post here I'd lock it to, but there's another one there. But I kind of wonder what the legality is if they damage the post. Is it you? Is it them? Should you have parked your bike there? And that's any bike. But I mean, by the time I finish my Pro 2, it's going to be a 2000 plus bike. And I can imagine people being quite happy to have a go to see if they can nick it. So for all the bike security in the world, you technically know where you can lock your bike. Let's go somewhere else. This is my local Sainsbury's and we're looking for parking spots. So I'm guessing you could lock to one of these big posts over here. I don't know how that sits with Sainsbury's, I don't know what they're for, but that's one spot. And then we're going into the rest of this shopping estate. So there's some lock spots there outside the range, and if you have a look around, you'll see big posts with barriers around them. Maybe you could lock to that, but you're still in the danger of somebody just coming along and to be honest, there's a lot of crackheads hanging around here. They sit around begging and just generally annoying the public. So again, we've got spots here, but they're using it as a trestle and to park their trolleys. But again, here's a spot here where you could possibly lock your bike to, and it says there's cameras, I think. So there's a spot I'd trust to park my bike. Well, I'm now a mile out of the centre of Wayfield, and only if I'm coming here can I lock my bike anywhere so far. So this gets back to the government's wanting us to be more green but not giving us the facilities to do it. We need parking spots. We need somewhere we can safely leave our e-bikes or any bikes. Like I said, there's spots, but they're random and nobody's using them. But what if this was en masse? Again, there's nothing there because you can just lift over the post. There's railings there that I could probably chew through with my teeth. Probably not. Come up to the college. We're going to have a look around here where students can park their bikes. And again, we've got a few of these flimsy things I could cut through within a minute to attach your bike to. And down there you can see a lock. But there's nothing. There's really nothing. I mean, if you look at American campuses, they're just, everybody cycles. But round here, there's just nowhere. There's just absolutely nowhere to lock your bike up. So let's go into Alfords, because this is the one place, they sell bikes and bike spares, that you'd have thought there's lots of parking spaces, but there's 4 of these tube lock spots up there that again I could possibly chew through with my teeth. And then you there's railings outside, but again, what do? You can see the railings here, and you could possibly lock your bikes to these railings. Same on this side, but this is the lower end of town, and trust me when I say this, it's not the most secure area. What we really need is somewhere dedicated to not just park e-bikes, but any cycle safely. You know, it's all right buying a chuffer for 25 quid and not caring about it, but you know, some of those EMTBs I've seen ridden around town and parked outside pubs, they're 4 or 5 grand. You know, that ain't the cheapest, is it? And how would you feel if you come back to find a big hole in the grid, or a big hole in the tube where you just lumped your bike to, and It doesn't matter what lock you've used, they've cut the tube away. It's an absolutely diabolical problem to have. Like I said, government wants us to be green, but they don't want to put in any effort, and to be honest, it looks like they're just discouraging it. Again, this goes back to the e-bike thing. No throttles. Really? The amount of people that's a barrier to entry for an e-bike for is just shocking. So there we have it. I'll be going out and locking it to Summit at some point this week. But here's the thing. Where do you put your e-bike that you want to use for nipping into town and going shopping with? Where do you lock it and feel safe where it's locked? On your Chinese e-bike that insurance companies won't insure. Because that's going to be another one of my videos, trying to get insurance for one of these bikes. Because it's ludicrous. Again, everything's against us. And I find that just so annoying when we have a community that would love to just cycle into town and leave their bikes. Here's an open question to the multi-storey car park people. I don't know if it's, I'm going to have a look when I get home, but I don't know if this is possible, but how about having an insured area where you can leave e-bikes locked up that's monitored by camera and have proper anchor points to stop your bikes from getting nicked? Because another thing is, okay, having a camera on your bike, but as we all know, you can have a camera on your bike all day long, but it ain't going to help you catch the idiot that stole your bike, is it? Annoying, 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 annoying. Anyway, anybody got any ideas before I go out and lock this up this week and video what happens next? Any ideas? Anything that you come up with that I haven't thought of? Anyway, here's an array of the locks that I've bought, which is half the price of buying one of these light locks or any other one, because they only have to cut through what's around the locks and then wander off with your bike. But I think having more crap attached to your bike that's annoying, that isn't just simply cut for a lock, is probably more of a deterrent than something like a light lock. Anyway, that's that. Have a nice day, everyone.